behind every strong community is someone willing to build. Hello and welcome to Thriving at Altitude. I'm your host, Dave Donahue. Join me high in the Rockies as we explore conversations with entrepreneurs, community leaders, and local business owners who are building, growing, and thriving right here at Altitude. Welcome to Thriving at Altitude. Today we have Alex, and she is from Rocky Mountain Raclette, the melted cheese queen of the valley.
The melted cheese queen.
Thanks so much for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I could talk about cheese all day, so.
What's the origin story? What made melted cheese your thing?
Well, it is my friend Catherine Binks. She is the one who started the company. So she was a friend of mine. I used to help her with dinners and various events and things. And a couple of years ago, when she was moving away, she was like, I'm putting the business up for sale. You kind of already know how to do everything. Are you interested in buying it? And I was like, I am so interested. And so I was so excited. So I purchased it from her about almost 4 years ago now, or 3.5 years ago. So it's been quite a journey. It's been really fun. I'm very happy with my decision. I'm super grateful that she was able to pass that cheese torch on to me. So yeah, very fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Saw some pictures of Taste of Vale. At a certain point, you were involved in Taste of Vale with your husband.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Taste of Vale was amazing. It's a wonderful event that we have here in April. Brings a ton of people to town, so it's a good way to get exposure for your business. So they invited us to do it last year. We were able to participate in 2 events. And we did one that was the outside. It's the one on the gore, or I forget what it's called, something on the gore, and everybody comes to all the various booths, wine booths and food booths outside. We did it in a full-blown blizzard. It was really, really fun, quite an experience. Our hands were really cold, but we were able to warm up with some melted cheese. And then we did the rosé event that was at Donahue Pavilion. That was really fun. Tons of people showed up for that one. And we couldn't do it this year, unfortunately, because we have tons of bookings. So we are too busy to participate this year, which is a good problem to have. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, yeah. But we love doing events like that. We have been, we've done Oktoberfest in Beaver Creek. We've done Oktoberfest in Vail Village and Lion's Head. We did Aspen Food and Wine last year, which was amazing. I mean, like, what an event that they put on. I was super excited to be invited to that. So cool. That was awesome. So yeah, love doing events in the Valley. It's good to participate and, just get new clients. So yeah.
Most people, when I've asked them recently, do they know what raclette is?
Yeah.
And only maybe half understand what that is.
Yep.
And the half that learn what it is are so amazed by it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, walk us through, how that works technically?
Yes.
How do you bring that to someone's house?
Sure.
And it just seems amazing, to see it and the idea of tasting it.
Yes.
Just makes the mouth water.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people, they're like, isn't it the same as fondue? It's like a fondue dinner. And we always say it's like fondue's cousin, fondue's sister meal. It's like fondue meets Korean barbecue because you're kind of grilling at the table. We set up these tabletop grills, and you melt cheese in these little cheese paddles, and then you grill food. So it's a very communal meal where you grill food right there at the table with your friends and your family. And then you melt the cheese on the grills underneath, and you pour hot melted cheese onto bread, onto potatoes, onto literally anything. It's very delicious. It's very fun, social meal. It gets everybody, super engaged, and it's something just a little bit different.
Cool.
So, yeah.
What type of cheese is in that wagon wheel?
So the meal is called raclette.
Okay.
But the cheese is also called raclette.
Okay.
So it's based in Switzerland and France.
Yep.
So we primarily do a Swiss raclette cheese.
Okay.
So yeah, name of the meal and the name of the cheese, which is the star of the show.
So all raclettes are raclette.
Yes.
Not all cheeses are raclette.
Precisely.
Got it. Cool.
Got it. Yeah.
And does it have a relation to any other cheeses that might be familiar to people? I'm thinking of a Jarlsberg or something nutty or Swiss or something like that.
Yeah, nutty, creamy. I always say it's pretty similar to eating like a Gruyere.
Okay.
Yeah, very melty. It's best when it's eaten when it's molten hot. So it's good when it's cold too, but it's much better when it's melted.
Are these devices that create the situation, are they heavy and cumbersome, or is it pretty like you could take on the road pretty easily?
So they can't. Well, we set up there are these grills. You can pretty much do like 4 people per grill. So normally I'd say our average group size is anywhere from like 8 to 14.
Yep.
So we would set up like multiple grills, and they do have heavy granite stones that you put on top. So that can be kind of heavy that we carry, like we'll lug all the equipment to the dinner, but the guest doesn't have to worry about any of that. So we bring everything, literally everything from the platters to the equipment. The only thing that we use once we get to the guest residence is their plates, their silverware, and their utensils and their glassware. But everything else to do a raclette dinner, we will provide.
Got it. Okay, great.
Yep.
There's got to be some other really interesting stuff that goes with that. So it's not just cheese only.
Yes.
There's probably 100 other things as well. Everything from apps to desserts, everything. Or
sorry.
No.
We have various menu options, packages that you can choose from. So by far our most popular package is the signature grill dinner, which is the full service catered dinner party that we do. So that's when it's a 3-course meal, but it's not like, perfectly coursed out. It's a little more of a casual thing, but when we're setting the table, guests start with the charcuterie appetizer, and we can make cocktails and pour wine and pour drinks for them while we finish setting up the table, because that takes like about an hour just to make sure all the equipment and everything is ready to go.
Great.
Start with the charcuterie, and then once they sit down, we kind of give a demonstration on how to properly raclette. So, because a lot of people, they don't know what it is. So, I mean, we have tons of repeat guests, but we have tons of new guests that are like, they'll sit down and they're like, what do we do? Like, there's so much on the table. And so we give kind of a proper demonstration on what to do. And so that menu consists of start with the charcuterie, then we do salad. We have potatoes. So that's traditionally how the raclette is served in Europe, is that it's poured onto boiled potatoes or onto bread. So we definitely have the potatoes and the bread, and then we've kind of elevated that traditional Swiss meal into like a full Alpine dinner. So we've taken those traditional elements and then added like our Colorado elements, like we have game meats. We do a seafood platter with shrimp and lobster tail. We do filet mignon. We have tons of local vegetables. And so it's kind of like an interactive grilling party that you do with your friends and family. And then we are there where it's a full service dinner. So we will make drinks and fill water, fill wine. We set everything up. We clean everything up, which is the best part. We do dinner. We bake dinner when the guests are cooking and doing their kind of interactive meal. And then, so it's like we leave it cleaner than we found it. So it's great.
It's a well-oiled cheese machine.
It's a well-oiled cheesy machine, yes.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. I did have a little insider information from Brian Moore, B.
Yes,
Moore.
B. Moore.
Shout out
Everybody
to B. Moore.
knows B. Moore.
Yes, he's the man. And,
he is.
And he was talking a little bit about how you have other people helping, right? You can't do it all on your own.
Yes.
And you might not want to anyway.
Yeah.
So that makes me think, are you happy with the size you're at, or are you in a growth phase where you might add more teams or more events or more things?
Well, that's a great question, because I used to be present for every single event. And when I very initially took over the company, it was like me, and then I have a server team, which is pretty much just like all of my wonderful friends that help me when I need help. And I'm like, hey, who's available on Friday at 6 and who wants to come and work with me? So it's great. I love my community here in the Valley, and everybody's always willing to be super helpful. But I did used to be present at every event. And then my husband he was helping me for about a year. And we were tag teaming. So like I would take a dinner with a server, and then he would take a dinner with a server. But he was presented with a new work opportunity this past April.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, I don't want to go from taking on multiple events per night to only being able to do one.
Right.
So that's when I connected with Brian, with B. Moore.
Yay.
And, some of my other friends that I've been training to be able to help me with prep and help me with shopping and ordering and actually hosting the dinners. That way I didn't have to turn down business because that's not
Right.
ideal. So I have been expanding my team, hired a couple new servers this year, which was great, some prep help, and then a couple more Raclette hosts, including Brian, and that has been great. I mean, we've gotten such good feedback on everybody. So it's always nerve-wracking when I'm not physically able to be there, and
Sure.
it's my company, and but everything has been positive feedback from all my guests and clients that I've had year after year, and that came from when Catherine owned the business that I had inherited from her, and so it's been nice to kind of grow and expand and hopefully just keep growing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
There must be a lot behind the scenes with just like making a menu,
Mm-hmm.
marketing. How can people find you?
So it's a lot of word of mouth.
Okay.
So we have been in business since 2015.
Yep.
So we are very well known with a lot of the concierges here, a lot of the hotel companies, vacation rental companies. So we've all known them for so long,
Right.
and a lot of word of mouth, a lot of clients that are, recommending us to some of their friends. Like I catered at like 3 houses that were like next door to each other in Beaver Creek. And it was like, I'm like, oh, do you know so-and-so family? And they're like, yeah, that's how we found out who you were. And I'm like, this is
Perfect.
amazing. So, lots of word of mouth from concierges, from clients that we've had in the past. We do a lot of ads on like Google and social media, like Facebook, Instagram. We run a lot of ads there. And yeah, just like, it's great when people give us reviews because then you can appear higher on like web searches and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Any website or handle that you use particularly?
Rocky Mountain Raclette.
Okay.
So at Rocky Mountain Raclette is our Instagram handle.
Okay.
We do tons of ads there, and then our website, RockyMountainRaclette.com.
Okay.
So great way to find us there, and then hopefully people will continue to recommend us. We're trying to grow and expand. So yeah.
Amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been really fun. The meal is it's really unique. It's something kind of a little different than another just dinner experience in the Valley. I feel like since the meal, it's so social and interactive that everybody who's participating, you're doing it like with your friends and your family, and everybody is really present because like you're kind of like grilling your own food and melting your own cheese, and it's supposed to be kind of like an interactive bonding experience for you and your friends and family. So it goes from being just kind of this ordinary dinner, like, oh yeah, we have this caterer for tonight, but then it turns into this like super memorable experience that people get super excited about. And we have people that book us year after year, and they kind of have turned it into, they do these ski trips every year, and it becomes like something that is a part of their ski trip. They're like, oh, we're not going to come to Vail or Beaver Creek and not book Raclette. It's our favorite thing to do. And like
Right.
their kids are like at home and they're like, can we do a Raclette party? And like to their parents and stuff. So it becomes just like this very unique and memorable dinner experience. It's just as much about the whole experience as it is about the delicious food. So yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And you mentioned some beverages, some serving as well. You're fully able to do that. Do you need other people to help you specifically in that category, or can you do it all?
I mean, we can do it all.
Yeah.
Most of the people in the Valley and the people who have worked with me are a lot of us have food and beverage experience. As you know, a lot of people work in various places, and we're all kind of interconnected in that realm. But I feel like there are some times we've done anything from a party of 6 all the way to a party of 40. We have done rehearsal dinners and weddings and like New Year's Eve, elaborate New Year's Eve events. And so if that's the case, then, I would definitely be open to having additional full on mixology bartender or somebody who's a little more experienced in that realm. Then, so it might be nice. I know that you had interviewed a gal Sarah, who has
Glitter
her
Shaker by Sarah.
Glitter and Shaker by Sarah.
She's great. Sarah Allure.
Yes. So anybody who if they have this, kind of larger event, then that would be, it would be awesome to have somebody else to be able to handle that side when I'm on the food side.
Great. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have it so it's not so spread out, especially for a larger group. That kind of brings me to another question I have. if my friends who are locals and we have a smaller number,
Yeah.
like what's the smallest number generally, or do you say maybe up to 10, 12, 15 is a better starting number for people?
So it's obviously my company and I'm very flexible, especially when it comes to like, local friends and family and whatnot, then I'm always willing to work with people. But for the signature dinner, our minimum is 6. And then we also have raclette cocktail parties where we'll set up like cheese scraping stations. So it's not really, it's so fun. And everybody seems to love it. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. It's not necessarily like a full dinner. It's kind of more of like a cocktail party where we set up these stations and kind of you'll melt cheese onto like bread and potatoes, and then we'll have salad and charcuterie and just kind of more cocktail style versus like a full sit down dinner. For that, I would say we could do anywhere from like 8 people to like 40 people. We have done before when we did a huge rehearsal dinner last year. And then we also do delivery box packages. So we started doing that a couple of years ago where it's kind of a more limited menu.
Okay.
And so we'll deliver all of the equipment with the pre-prepped food, and then we collect the dirty equipment the next day. And then we send a how-to video so they're able to, kind of do the whole raclette thing without us actually being there. So it's a little more
self-serve.
Self-serve, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so for that, we could do 4 people for that. For the dinner party, we can do 6. And like I said, it's me. I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah.
So.
But then the opposite of that would be a guest that has more people, and like one of my real estate guests or something like that wants filet mignon. They want the lobster.
Yep.
They want the seafood.
Yes.
Like they want all the top check marks.
Yes.
All that's available to them as well.
Yes, exactly. And we're always willing to kind of adjust our menu options. Like if somebody's like, oh, I don't mess with seafood, or I don't like game meats, that's not really my thing, then, we're always able to make substitutions, and, we can really do anything that somebody wants. So,
okay.
Yeah.
No, that specialty seems to be a thing
a
lot more lately.
Yeah.
certain additions or subtractions that are important for people.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. And we're very flexible. If somebody wants to do, grilled chicken, or if they want to do, just some other sort of protein, then we're willing to accommodate. So.
And I would imagine it's per person in terms of cost, and there's a scale.
Yes.
And people can expect, probably the same or similar as like a really good sit-down dinner at a fancy restaurant in the Vail area. Yeah. Some kind of similar price per person, I'm imagining.
Exactly. That way, so we have a price per adult and a price per kid. And it's pretty much the same menu for the adult and the kids. It's just smaller.
Right.
If you have kids that are like, we're not going to eat that, we're only going to have mac and cheese, then we can do that too.
I bet you make a mean mac and cheese.
I can make a really good mac and cheese.
I bet you do.
So we kind of have a set price, and I think people really appreciate that we're really bringing that full dinner experience to their home, where they don't have to worry about the shopping and the prepping and the cooking and the cleaning. It's like we are completely full service, where it's so much fun to go out in Vail, and when you come visit and going to experience all the new restaurants and places that you haven't been. But it's also really fun when you're renting this beautiful home and you're spending all this money. And some of these families that come, they have upwards of 20 people, and it's really hard to get a reservation. So we can really bring that full dinner experience right to their home. And they, especially like during the holidays, you have like your sisters and your like, you have this huge family, and then all the kids, and it's like you can't just go to a restaurant and be like, can I get a table for 18 people?
Exactly.
Like, so it's really nice that we can really bring that full service experience right to them.
How did you know I have sisters? I know. I should clarify too. I should clarify that it's so great to go out to a nice restaurant here, and there's so many choices.
Yeah.
But one step further, and maybe for a similar price or even better, you can have the really tailored home experience.
Exactly.
Which is more luxurious.
It's
and
very
more
luxurious.
service oriented.
Yeah.
More good ratio of servers per guest.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
restaurant.
like getting the Uber to town or getting the ride into town and then getting
Exactly.
back home. It's kind of like you're already there. And usually a lot of these places are so wonderful that they're staying here. I mean, you're getting Airbnbs and VRBOs in Vail and Beaver Creek, Colorado. Like
Right.
most of the time they're going to be pretty awesome. So you really want to like, maximize your time there.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice to have like 1 or 2 nights during your stay where you can stay back and kind of enjoy the whole ambiance of being at home. And I think it's very nice. I love staying home, so.
Yeah, exactly. You can have surf and turf in a hoodie
Exactly.
and not feel out of place.
Yes, we have done full-on pajama parties before. We have done bachelorette and bachelor parties where everyone is in comfy clothes, and you're still getting this beautiful dinner experience. But you can just be comfortable at home.
And for the kids,
Yeah.
and then it sounds like such a fulfilling and filling meal, so you feel very satisfied.
Yes,
I'm
it's
sure,
quite the feast.
Yes.
Yeah, we bring lots of goodies. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How about events coming up? Anything? This will be evergreen, so this will be kind of repeated, and all the information will be out there for a while.
Uh-huh.
But I always like to ask people about local stuff that's happening.
Yep.
Sooner, like the spring and summer.
Yep. So we Taste of Vail, I think, is next week, and unfortunately, like I said, we were kind of busy with all of our reservations, so we won't be able to participate in that this year. Hopefully next year we will be able to. We'll definitely do some of the Oktoberfest events that we have, which I know it's Oktoberfest, but since Vail and Beaver Creek, a lot of people come, and it's more popular to come here in September. So we do our Oktoberfest a little early. So we'll definitely probably do at least 1 or 2 of those, the one in Beaver Creek or Vail Village or Lion's Head. And then hopefully maybe we'll do food and wine again in Aspen this year. But I'm not sure. I mean, that was logistically, it was a lot. It was so fun to be able to participate, but it's not, the easiest, trek to go
Once
over
in a
there.
while.
Yeah.
It's like with the band, so I have a 9-piece band.
Yep.
It's so hard to get out of the county.
Yes, I know.
Because all the schedules, and then you got to stay somewhere unless you're going to drive back in the middle of the night.
Yep.
I would drive back in the middle of the night. I'm usually the guy behind the wheel, let's go at night. But, of course, if you're going to Aspen, double-edged because you're getting such a cool new audience.
Yes.
And
very bougie audience. But
fulfilling bougie audience. But then also just you could stay close to home.
Yeah.
And kind of that's what it's all about, is staying close to home and being able to eat surf and turf in your pajamas.
Yes.
And you don't have to go too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Or get too fancy if you don't want to. Right?
Yeah. We have gone to Summit County quite a bit. We went, I think, 3 times this last winter. So that was, Summit County's a little bit closer. So we were able to make those happen. But eventually, hopefully, I'll have a team large enough where we can kind of go all over the state. So, and then who knows?
Yeah. And I'm sure if the price is right, you could go anywhere.
Yeah. Hawaii? Anybody in Hawaii?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Sure. No, careful what you wish for. There'll be a lot of people watching.
Yeah, we'll bring all the equipment. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's so nice to have you here today, Alex.
Well, thank you so much.
I really appreciate everything, and we look forward to seeing what meals are coming out and success, and I would love to taste it myself.
Yes, we'll have to do something for you guys.
I'll get together with B More and we'll see what's happening.
Yeah, we'll bring the molten cheese to you guys for sure. So
amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me as well. It's been a pleasure and nice to meet you and just be able to participate in these kind of things. So yeah.
It's great. We love having locals and the success story of, even if you're not going to Taste of Vail, we know it's because you're busy, and we know it's because you have a lot happening in a good way.
Yeah, that could have been a catalyst from being at Taste of Vail.
That's right.
So it's all good things. So.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
If you have any questions about any of our guests or want to be part of the show, please email me at davedonahue@kw.com. Feel free to reach out.